Hello, my name is Alicia Parker. I'm a planner with the City of Oakland Planning Department. Today, I will be presenting about the West Oakland Truck Management Plan Year 1 actions. The purpose of this presentation is to familiarize the public with the draft proposals. The contents of this presentation include an overview of the West Oakland Truck Management Plan, and it focuses on draft proposals related to an update of the truck route network and parking regulations. This presentation also includes an overview of next steps. The truck management plan is a result of a mitigation measure from the development of the Oakland Army Base. The plan addresses truck circulation and parking in West Oakland. It identifies actions and responsibilities across city and port departments. The goals of the plan are to reduce the disruption from trucks, to communicate with truck drivers, the preferred routes, and to improve safety near the truck routes. The plan was adopted in 2019, and it was a result of an extensive community process, which we've built on to prepare the draft proposals. So all the feedback that was received on the truck management plan has been incorporated into the draft proposals. The area covered by the truck management plan is shown on this slide. The area includes the heart of the West Oakland community. It includes the Port of Oakland, and it includes the Oakland Army Base. The truck management plan is essentially an accumulation of 10 strategies designed to reduce negative impacts of truck circulation. This is a slide that demonstrates when each strategy will be implemented. So the strategies that are highlighted yellow and are included in year 1 are Year 1 action items. Today, the presentation will focus on Strategy 3, which is the update of the truck routes, and Strategy 8, which is the parking regulation changes. The city and port have also been making progress on other Year 1 actions. So, for example, for Strategy 1, we've been working with representatives of major development projects near the port to improve the pedestrian and bicycle safety at key intersections. Strategy 2 and Strategy 4 are related to the strategy of updating the truck routes and the parking regulations. So there will be updates to those strategies as we roll out and implement the truck route changes and the parking regulation changes. I will now focus the presentation on the proposed truck route network. The objective of the proposal is to change the Oakland Municipal Code to update the truck routes and the truck prohibited streets and resolve or correct Oakland Municipal Code inconsistencies to make truck routes clearer and more effective. This is a map of the truck routes. I want to begin by saying that not all of the changes here are proposed, or not, not all of the lines on this map are changes. This is a map of all of the truck routes as they exist, including the changes that are proposed at this time. To familiarize you with the map, the yellow areas are residential, the salmon or the salmon or orange colored areas are commercial, and the purple areas are industrial. The truck routes are displayed in blue on these maps. As you can see, they travel through the West Oakland community and help circulation at the Port of Oakland. The red lines on the map are truck prohibited streets. So those are streets that trucks are not supposed to go on unless they are completing a delivery. The next few slides will dig into the actual changes in the truck routes that are being proposed. The first change is highlighted with this black arrow, dashed arrow here, and it relates to Frontage Road. The change here is to add frontage road to the truck routes. Originally, this road was built as an access road for trucks to merge onto 880. It was designed to more safely accommodate truck traffic with fewer intersections and vulnerable road users. Frontage road is largely separated from the rest of West Oakland, and alternative north-south streets would increase resident exposure to truck emissions, including schools. The next change would be to make 28th Street between Poplar and Mandela Parkway, indicated in the black dashed lines here, truck prohibited. The rationale is that residents reported that the street is a cut-through by trucks to travel between Peralta and Mandela, and that there was noise and safety issues related to this cut-through traffic on 28th Street. We want to encourage trucks to remain on streets in industrial areas south of 28th Street. It is anticipated to have a modest impact on nearby residents. The next change relates to 7th Street, indicated here in the black dashed line. The proposal is to make 7th Street truck prohibited from Wood Street to Union Street. 7th Street is primarily commercial, mixed use in nature, particularly with the development of the West Oakland BART station. It's becoming much more transit-oriented with commercial and residential uses. There's an absence of truck-intensive businesses along the corridor, and the intention is to discourage the use of truck traffic to bypass traffic on the 880 freeway. And there's a potential to improve the air quality for the surrounding uses along 7th Street. The final change to review includes the area shown in the black dashed lines, which is north of West Grand, near Peralta and south of 28th Street. It is proposed that in this industrial area, the truck prohibited designation be removed. This change aligns with the existing industrial uses in the area. It also aligns with the desired future intent of the area, which is to remain industrial. These streets do not contain any residential living areas, and we would retain the truck prohibited designation on streets leading into that industrial core. Along with the change to 28th Street, it would clarify how trucks should and should not access businesses in this industrial area. I will now introduce the draft truck parking regulation changes, which is strategy 8. The objective is to change the parking regulation so that restrictions are applicable to more streets in West Oakland and are easier to enforce. This is a map of the current truck parking regulations in West Oakland. Right now, truck parking is permitted unless in a residential zone, which you see hashed in yellow hashing here, or there is a sign. So essentially, in the purple areas, trucks are allowed to park unless there is a sign indicating otherwise. The first change would be to prohibit unattached trailer parking throughout the city of Oakland. And the picture here is an example of an unattached trailer, essentially being stored on public streets. The second change that is specific to West Oakland would be that trucks would be allowed to park in industrial areas only if there is a sign designating truck parking. Otherwise, truck parking would be prohibited. This is the opposite of the current regulations, which allow truck parking, unless it's in a residential district or there's a no truck parking sign. So in this revised proposal, truck parking would be prohibited unless a sign was allowing truck parking. It is worth noting that trucks can still load and unload throughout the city. The rationale behind this is that it is flexible and fine-grained, it is very clearly communicated via signage, and it facilitates enforcement. There are numerous examples of this approach working successfully in other cities. This is a map of where the proposed truck parking areas would be. On this map, the lines on the streets indicate areas where trucks would be allowed to park. So it's in the industrial core, kind of around West Grand, leading into the Port of Oakland, and then some areas along 3rd Street, south of 880. The purple lines on the map indicate that both sides of the street would allow truck parking, and the blue lines indicate that trucks would only be allowed to park on one side of the street. And the streets that were selected are industrial in nature. There are not too many driveways, and they are not too narrow. In terms of next steps, the city and port are turning to web-based methods for engagement. The draft proposals are posted online. There's a survey, and we will have stakeholder conference calls and virtual meetings. The timeline is estimated that we will continue with the engagement throughout May, June, and then reevaluate how the engagement is going, given the nature of the COVID-19 pandemic and how well the virtual engagement is going. It is anticipated that if we are getting the type of feedback that we need and that it's representative of the community and inclusive, we could revise the changes based on community feedback beginning in the end of the summer, and then take final proposals to City Council for adoption in the fall. The project website has updated information, so please check the website. Thank you.